Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates.
Hello and welcome to Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates. I'm Michael Selbeck, your host, and I'm here with Kent Jasperson, rerunning for Justice Court, correct?
Yes, correct.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. My name is Kent Jasperson. I've been the Justice of the Peace for the last 5.5 years. At the end of my term, it'll be 6 years as the Justice of the Peace here in Pahrump. Prior to that, I worked for the Nye County Sheriff's Office for 25 years. I retired from there. I moved to Pahrump, Nye County, 1980, and I've been involved in the community since I've lived here. Different things that I've done in the community, volunteer organizations, Little League Baseball, stuff like that. I really enjoy being the Justice of the Peace. I enjoyed working with the public when I was with the Sheriff's Office, and I want to continue to serve the public, and I enjoy the work that I'm doing. I'm very experienced at it, in my opinion. In the last 5.5 years, we just did a data conversion and we did a new case management system. And what I found out from that case management system when we did the data conversion was that I'm currently presiding over 19,000 cases in the last 5.5 years. So that's a lot of experience.
Number, yeah.
So.
How about family? Got any family here?
Yes. My daughter and one grandson currently live with me here. Most of my other family that has lived here has moved. I was married to my wife for 25 years, and I lost her 2 years ago to breast cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
So, but yeah, I've got kids, grandkids, and very well liked family. Love all my children and grandchildren. So.
Well, 1980, you've definitely been here a while.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit about, before we get into the judge side of it, talk to me a little bit about being a police officer for 25 years. What was that like?
Well, it was quite a wide range of stuff. I worked as a regular patrol officer. I worked as a canine officer. I worked as the only time the sheriff's office had motorcycles, I was a sergeant on motorcycles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I got to ride motorcycles for a few years around. So.
And was all 25 years here in Nye County?
It was all in Nye County. I did a few years here in Pahrump when I first got hired. Then I transferred out to the Nevada test site, and I spent a couple of years at the test site. Then I got promoted to sergeant, and the sheriff at the time, who was Dick Davis, brought me back to Pahrump as a supervisor. And then I served a few more years as a supervisor here. Then I transferred up to Tonopah. When I transferred to Tonopah as a supervisor, my job description was I was an outlying area sergeant, which means I was responsible for everything outside of Tonopah: Gabbs, Sunnyside, Current Creek, Duckwater, all of those areas.
All those areas.
Right. And then I transferred back into Tonopah as a supervisor. Then I transferred back to Pahrump. And when I finished my career, when I retired, I was a sergeant in charge of canines.
Gabbs, I have a couple uncles that live up there and work for some mines up there. I was only up there one time, but I can't see why anybody would want to live up there, to be honest. It's definitely out there in the middle of nowheres.
It is.
But maybe that's what they love about it, you know. So when you said you retired as a police officer, so even though you still work for Nye County, you retired and then the judge is different, is that correct?
Yes. When I was working for the sheriff's office, I was an employee of the county, and I was working under the authority of the sheriff. Whoever the sheriff was gave me the authority to go out and do my job to serve the public. And then after I retired from that, and then I got elected, I'm now an elected official, even though I still work for Nye County.
For Nye County.
It's different, though, than actually being an employee and having to work under a supervisor. Now I am the supervisor as a department head, as an elected official.
So you just didn't want to retire, in other words.
Well, I liked what I was doing.
That's good.
So, and I like the people here, and I like doing what I can do to serve the people. And
well, you've been is it a 6-year term then?
It is a 6-year term.
It is a 6-year term, and you're coming up on your 6th year right now.
Right.
So talk to me about the 6 years as a judge. I mean, what have you seen? What do you love? What do you hate?
Well, you get a wide range as the justice court judge, because as a justice of the peace, you handle everything from when somebody first gets arrested. You have to determine whether or not there's probable cause for the arrest. You have to, if they need an attorney, you have to appoint them an attorney. You have to do all of the things. And if they're charged with felony or gross misdemeanor crimes, then you have to have a hearing, or they can waive the hearing. But it's to determine whether or not there's enough to send them on up to district court to actually go to trial. So we basically filter everything that goes through, starting in the justice court. We also take care of any and all traffic citations in the justice court. We have exclusive jurisdiction over all misdemeanor crimes in the justice court. We also handle evictions. We handle restraining orders. We handle stalking orders. We handle small claims up to $7,500. We handle civil cases up to $10,000.
Okay.
So
you don't just do criminal then? I always was under the impression that that's what justice court does, is
Right.
just the criminal side, but you also do the
we also do civil
and
protection orders. And
wow. What would you say is your favorite part of being a judge, and what is your worst part of being a judge?
The favorite part of being a judge is after you've had to deal with somebody in court and they've accomplished what they needed to accomplish, and you've seen it change their life, and they've come back to you and said, thank you for helping me. The thing I hate the most is the people who don't care and are repeat offenders.
Right.
You know, and you get them back constantly all the time, over and over and over again.
I bet that's real discouraging to see especially like I was in court this morning, and you just see a lot of parents come in and out, and it's got to be tough as a judge to see that all the time. Now, since you do so much of, like you said, is there probable cause for this person to be arrested, and so on and so on, I assume you had to deal a lot with the sheriff's department, do you not?
Yes, we deal with the sheriff's office. That's the other thing that I forgot to mention that we also do. We do search warrants.
Okay.
So if they need search warrants or they need arrest warrants, we have to review the affidavit, the sworn affidavit that they present to us, and determine whether or not there's enough probable cause to support the need for a warrant. So we work with them. In addition to what we do on a daily basis, we also are on call. So Judge Kent, who's the other justice of the peace, and I have worked out an on-call schedule where we're each on call for like 3 months at a time, then we rotate.
Okay.
Because if the jail has a problem at, say, 2 o'clock in the morning and somebody gets hurt or injured and has to be admitted to the hospital or taken to Vegas, sometimes they'll call us and ask if we can release them so they don't have to send a deputy to sit with them in the hospital in Vegas. Or if a deputy needs a search warrant in the middle of the night, then they'll call us in the middle of the night and try and get a search warrant. And so, yeah, it's just not a 9-to-5 job.
Doesn't sound like it. Well, we're actually through our first segment already, so we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Judge Jasperson.
Court reporter with Stovall and Associates.